Where's this now? There we go. There's buttons, and there's the man himself. You're
Hello,
live.
hello, everyone.
You're live on the internet, Raul.
Oh my God! Finally.
I don't
I'm
talk
famous.
an awful lot.
Does it mean that I'm famous now?
Now you're famous, yes.
Okay. Oh God, it took me 45 years.
Well, come here. How are you, first of all? You're looking well.
I look as best as I could be considering my lack of sleep in the last 2 months. But yes, here I am.
Awesome.
Excited to share this project because it's another personal dream of mine, and just looking forward to everyone to see what we have been doing so far.
You've kind of been busy. Where did this thing even come out of? Why this aircraft, and when did you start it?
All right, so the project started approximately 3 months before I released Sting S4.
Okay.
The way that I work is I build the 3D models ahead of time, and then I kind of pick up each of these projects that are complete on 3D and start building the systems.
Okay.
So I want people to learn about the process today. The process of building the 3D is done by special freelancers that I hire, and they give me the canvas, right? So what they do is they give me the 3D, no animate at all. Then I take that 3D, I do every single animation that you see on the products, right? Including the parachute on the S4 to how the tires rotate, propellers, everything. So the process to do the initial canvas of the 3D takes approximately 3 months.
Wow.
And then from that onwards, it takes it should take ideally 9 months, 10 months, but I took longer with this particular project because I've been building a technology that is going to be used by the entire fleet from now onwards.
Oh,
right?
Nice.
And that technology is something that I want to give a little overview today so everyone can see it. That requires a lot of work, but it is kind of an upfront way of me putting the work ahead. Because when the other airplanes that are going to come to the fleet, they're going to be able to use it. And then that means that I can be able to streamline and release a little bit faster because all the entire core systems I did modular in a way that I can adjust now for each aircraft type that is going to be built, right? So that's one of the reasons it took that long. The second reason is because Flight Simulator obviously is a moving platform, right? So people need to understand that when you start a project, imagine this started 14 months ago. We were on SUE 8, I believe. Since then, we got 9, 10, 11, and 12. So that's 4 full system updates. And with each system updates, either I get features that I've been asking because I'm in development, and then I ask the software, can you please give me access to these variables so I can develop this particular system? And they go, fine. And they are added to one of the SU updates. Okay. At that point, I take over. Okay, fine, I can do it now. Or they do changes to improve the platform, obviously. And then what happens is I say, okay, well, now I have that available. Let me redo this bit. Right, so you kind of have something that's moving under your feet, but it's for the benefit of the entire project. And this is one of the reasons why I'm working this way, where I have 3D models ready, and I just start picking up the right project to build according how mature the SDK is going. So, for example, I have already a full 3D model for another ultralight, just ready to go.
What?
Yes, it's called the 3L3000 from the same aircraft manufacturer.
Ooh.
But that aircraft is going to be doesn't use avionics G1000. It uses avionics G3X. And there are rumors that there's a possibility that working title is going to work on that.
Hello there.
Nice.
Avionics, right? So it doesn't make sense for me to bring it now, where we have a mature G1000 NXI now, thanks to working title. So the right project to bring over was M500 instead, because I can take advantage of those avionics to build systems the most accurate possible that you can, right? So there are certain decisions that happen obviously on the background. Some people ask me, why you did that first instead of the M600? Because I do have as well a full 3D model ready, all done, of the M600.
Oh, really?
Yes. However, what happened with at the time that we finished the 3D model of M600 is that we got the news that Working Title was working on the G3000 package and that they were going to bring the plugin systems, which is when things were going to get better, right? Avionics Update 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't make sense to move that project at that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as you can imagine, I have a selection of things to work on as I feel like it, right? And all these models that have been completed are projects that I love, right? So obviously we're going to share pictures exclusively today as well of the next, which you have, and you can see how advanced that is in 3D. That's another example.
I nearly fell off my chair when you sent me those screenshots on the other aircraft you're working on, like, because it's stunning. Really, now it is stunning.
Yes. So what will happen is now, what does it make sense for me to move forward? And it will be that particular project, because right now, Working Title has just made stable the avionics of the G3000, and now I can use that, right? So basically, we have a moving platform that is maturing every week. Mm-hmm. You guys don't realize that, but I am in contact on Asobo forums, and I see the changes happening incredibly, because I am not on the main branch like you all are. I am always attached to any beta version that is available for the simulator. Mm-hmm. And every week we get updates and something new is there and something new is available. Last night, I updated the avionics of this aircraft because there was an update for AAU2. And It was my mission to update it immediately. So it's now up to date in accordance with the new framework of Working Title, right? So although we have a fast moving platform, I have adapted my working style to keep up with this fast-moving platform. And that's very important, obviously, given the news that happened on Sunday, right?
Absolutely.
And that's why I was so excited to start the stream today, because you can have the opportunity now to explain this to the customer base out there. And they can understand that developers are not just sitting there waiting for things to happen. Developers like Alex from SyncWare Studio, Parallel 42, and myself, which are partners of mine, we're always sitting, waiting, not waiting really. We are actually ahead of the game by planning ahead, right? I know all my release scheduled airplanes up to 4 years from now. That's how ahead I am planning. So as things move forward, I will improve the avionics of everything and things of everything. I think it's time to show them a little bit something inside. People follow me on Discord, haven't seen any picture of the inside of the aircraft, and this is going to be the first time for that.
Really? This is the great reveal of inside the airplane?
The first time they're going to see the inside of the aircraft.
Well, the first thing we can note, you've added in cushions, look.
Yes.
It's such a tease. So the cabin inside the M500, it was an awful lot bigger than what I thought, because traditionally when you hear Pipers, you're thinking, not an aging platform, but, like, you know what I mean, the Meridian or the P46, I mean, they came out years ago. But when it came to the M500, they've upgraded so many things, not just to the systems and whatever else, but also the interior, completely rebuilt the interior. And again, looking at reference photographs, you've absolutely nailed it in here in terms of the scale, how big everything is, the color schemes, which are as per the brochure from Piper.
Yes,
it's spot on, right?
Not only that, the 3D artists also give me the initial texturing, and then I have people that work with me as well and work as well with SyncWare Studio, which are kind of compatible with my mindset of level of detail. I can tell you on these liveries, he went online and find out the color code that Piper used for the paint. And the paint colors that you are seeing actually match the real life colors that you will get if you buy the aircraft from Piper. This is the kind of crazy nuttiness that we do. The sounds of the aircraft have been recorded from a live M500 as well. So every single click, the pedals, the sound of the door, the sound of the engine, everything is coming from the real airplane. The aircraft was leased by the company that did the recording, and they went ahead and did an amazing amount of work to get everything recorded, right? And an interesting fact, because he was recording the sounds, you have to have some flight model to give it to him, so he can actually go and put the sound. So the flight model was the first thing that was done on the M500, even when I didn't call that any other advanced systems. And I just give it to him, and then he started telling me, "Look, you're not having the right NG numbers on the on the flight model. You are missing this, you're missing that." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, because you want the flight model quick." Right. So, but it was amazing because you get incredible feedback. He was sitting there on the aircraft, right, and seeing everything. We have the approach with the project was that I wanted to, before reaching the stage that we're now, which is beta, which many people saying this is just ready for release. Well, in my mindset, it's not, because I have objectives for the project still that I need to achieve. We had a team of 12 alpha testers, which were taking every single change I introduce every week, sometimes daily, sometimes monthly. They will go and test that bit, right?
Wow.
So that's a kind of level of QA that we have put into the aircraft. Every single new alpha was tested, another alpha was tested. So this ensured that when we reached beta, we were pretty clear of bugs. And my objective with the beta program that we're going to run now is to have the second set of QA where people with new fresh eyes can have a look, right? And I'll tell you something, I left a couple of bugs on purpose to see how tired the alpha team is, and they didn't catch it, right? So I told them, there you go, you guys missed these two things, and they were laughing. Oh, okay, well, look, do you have a bug there? Yeah, because I told you, right? So the whole objective is that after this stream, the beta team is going to be expanded by 5 positions, and the alpha team and the current beta team, which is 16 people, will be helping me to vote who we do accept. So it's not just me deciding. They're going to decide now together, because now we all understand where our weakness might be to find something, and how we can reinforce the team. Plus a couple of people that have contacted me privately that have access to the full type of aircraft. And those people will be key, because they will be helping me now to tweak the flight model on the last stage before we go release. Right? Also, people are just excited because it looks perfect. What do I think is missing? I think we need to show a little bit of things going, and then by the end of the stream, we will tell them what my vision is and why I don't want to release yet. There is a surprise, something I want you to do today. We're going to show something that the aircraft does that not even the beta testers know.
Nice. Are you sure I can do this now?
Yeah, you can. I tested early with one of my mods, and it worked.
Okay.
So by the end of the showcase of the M500, we're going to do something that nobody knows that this thing is capable of doing, and we're going to execute it, and then you will see. And this is kind of going to define the level of how crazy I am about aviation, and how much I love putting my passion and love to these projects.
It's so exciting, and it's great to hear developers speak like this. I mean, it's you know, when it comes to developers, from our perspective, right, we know that there's developers who have a particular business model. You know, build something good, get it out, and let's do it. Then you have other developers who have such a passion for what it is that they're doing. It's the fact that it's going to be, you know, sold or whatever. That's kind of the byproduct of, no, you want to get full on in deep with this aircraft, because it's the developing process, and it's the self-satisfaction that a developer will get by getting it done just right, and it's incredible to see, man.
People need to understand why I'm making these airplanes. I'm not driven just financially. Obviously, there is a financial goal at the end. It's a business, you know. But the real reason I'm doing this thing is because my real dream was to be a pilot when I was young. And I was into flight sim since I was 10 years old. I have played every single game related to aviation you could imagine that existed ever. And one of the difficulties is that I could not fulfill that dream. So there is that call inside me that I still want to do it, right? And one of the things is what airplane I would like to own if I was that kind of person that could afford one, right? So in that mindset, each project that I'm bringing over is an airplane that I would like to own real life.
Hello there.
So how can you not make something that is perfect in my eyes? It has to be, because in my view, this is what I will own if I could. And I want that to happen, right? I want it to look realistic, so when I fly it feels great. The first time I took the project and flew it to 29,000 feet above the cloud, I was just crying here on my computer alone because I could not believe it, right? I said, I built it. There it go. It's flying. I can't believe it. It's flying, right? It's there. That sensation is just amazing. And the second thing that brings me satisfaction is when people come to me and say, Raul, thank you so much for the time you put in to make this right. It's an experience that, I don't know, it's so difficult to describe, that you put so much love to something and you're sharing a drink with a whole bunch of people that you don't know. And then they come to you and they say, thank you so much for doing this. You have given me this amount of joy. Or can't I stop flying your aircraft? You know, it just feels amazing. That sensation is something that I think the best way to describe it would be like saying how an artist, when he's performing live, singing a song, feels when people are singing the song that they're singing with them, right? It's that kind of same sensation. They are flying a product that I built. You know, it's just amazing. So obviously, for me, the number of screws that exist on the aircraft is something that I will research, because you have to match, right?
The number of screws, get out of town.
Yes. So everything matters. If the SDK allow me to do something, I do it. If it doesn't allow me to do something, I ask Asobo. And I think Asobo has kind of appreciated that kind of relationship, because it's difficult for them to understand what developers need if you don't ask, right? And that's something that is important for all of us as third-party developers. Talk to them and say, look, I want to have this because I want to build this, right? I just asked this morning for a feature which people will understand after we show a little bit more, right? And a couple of months ago, I was having an idea, thinking, okay, what happens if the aircraft become depressurized and you forgot to put your max on, right? You should feel hypoxia. So I tried to simulate hypoxia, actually.
What?
Yes, and my plan was to use the G-forces effects that we have on the SDK and try to trick the system to believe that the user is on a G-lock, because that way you will get a black screen, right? But it didn't work. So I went to Asobo and explained this. And even Eric from Asobo liked my idea. So I'm pretty sure we're going to start seeing these things that you ask as the platform continue moving forward. And it's something that excites me, because the more power they gave me on the SDK, I'm going to push it harder. And if they don't give me the power, I'm going to keep asking. You know, I just go and ask them quickly until they say, oh, Raul, for the love of God, yes, here, have it.
Just take it and go away.
Yes, and then I just go and do it. All right. It's different when you're driven by passion, I could say. Financially, yes, there is a pressure financially. There was very hard times when I started. Thanks to the support of people on S4, that stress is not present there now as hard as it was. I can tell you that the first time I went to go to FS Expo, I didn't have money to buy the flight ticket, right?
Wow.
And that's something that Microsoft Flight Simulator allowed me to change, thanks to the amazing amount of support and people to FSReborn. But it's not what drives me. What drives me is, can I do this? It's the challenge what matters. And on that, he said, that's something that Parallel 42 and myself were quite aligned. Most of the projects we built is because of challenge. People don't know, but I was part of the developing team on Freedom Fox, for example. I was part of the developing team for Camp Out from Parallel 42. So and that was driven by the challenge. Is one day Kevin is sitting there on the Discord server and he says something, and then suddenly Edson, Kevin, and myself, we got nuts and we start doing something, and that's how things happen.
Do you sleep at all?
Well, sometimes. I think people would like to hear a little bit, probably the sounds and see the avionics.
Yes. Can I start it up? I'm here, I'm nearly drooling over this thing, right? So for me to do this now, right, I'm just going to do my thing, right? But if I do something wrong, just start talking. So just welcome to the cockpit. Raul, cockpit, Raul. You've been here before, right? So what we have a tablet now. We can go further into the systems, if you like, maybe in the next stream, just to see, just like the complex details, but I will just maybe briefly just browse over it, if that's okay. So what we have on this EFB, right, which is clickable, you can remove it if you need to, you can disappear it and pop it back up, and it's seamless. Everything is optimized already in terms of speed and transitions. So we have your pre-flight details, and here you can see the status page. Lights, including the nav, strobes, landing lights, taxi bulbs, how many hours operation they have, and are they okay, right? Your engine tach hours, the oil quantity, the status of the engine, the battery, the voltage and capacity, tire pressure, right? That's the level we're getting into.
Yeah. This tire pressure is nitrogen, by the way, is no air.
Ah, right.
So what happens is I have to build new formulas for the change of the pressure as you climb, because it's different from air. That kind of thing is embedded in the systems there.
Okay, you can see now we have a Navigraph logo, so full integration with SimBrief and Navigraph built into the EFB, which is awesome. We have the ground operations. Now, will I do the thing of the thing, or will I leave the loading part for the next stream?
No, I want people to see this today, because it's one of the key technologies that I've been building.
Come here,
I want everyone to see it.
Right, I've gone for the Range Rover.
That's fine.
Right, okay.
They give a preview on the others.
Okay, so what we're going to do here, this is our loading page, right? Think of this almost, lads, as an FBO. Think about it. We'll select the aircraft weights and dimensions, how much cargo, how much fuel, and how many passengers we're going to fly. On the options on the right-hand side, we can look at all the static elements, the outside stuff, like the pitot covers, the prop covers, chocks, security cones, all that sort of jazz. But you have these buttons down here, the loading table, and this is where you can tweak all of these up. We'll add some people in here now, that's grand, very light, but we'll add them in. And when we want to load it, it's almost like it's calling the FBO. We're going to load this in real time, so I'm going to say load. Now look at this, ground services, fuel status, requesting the fuel truck, passengers are waiting at the terminal, and luggage, we're waiting for the vehicle. So I've now requested all that stuff, so I'm going to continue on as I wait for this to happen. Look at this, dispatched an arrival. This isn't using GSX. This is using its own systems, right? So you have, and you'll see it, right? If I go for a gawk, there's a fuel truck after appearing. That's for us, lads. He's on the way to us. A fuel truck is coming to us, right? Deadly. So as it's doing that, well, I can continue on with my bits and bobs. I'm going to connect the GPU. So I'm going to go to my overhead, turn on the battery, and you will hear sounds. And on some nav lights for good measure as well. So our systems are going to warm up. I'm going to activate the GPU. And we can see now that a fuel truck is going to arrive here in about 8 seconds. It takes a few moments for him to get into position, but I want to show you what he does when he gets here. So there's the vehicle driving. This is class, right? So here's the vehicle driving up. Now, as that's doing that, we're going to have a look at our systems here and just get ourselves a little bit familiar. There's a couple of things you might notice off the bat just by looking at the main screens. So what Piper did with the M500 series, well, huge upgrades and avionics upgrades, but also how they moved things around. And one of the coolest thing was the landing gear handle, for example. Well, they moved the indicator from being a panel with its own LED lights, and they actually put it into the G1000. There's some pretty cool stuff happening here. The autopilot panel, which used to be on the lower place, was put up. What's the word I'm looking for? They put it up higher, right? They moved it to a higher location. And then when we have, we're familiar with these units, but you may not be familiar with the level of detail that they go into. So our GPU is connected. Fuel truck is coming up to connect.
Can you show them the cable of the GPU now, because you connect it? So now obviously that actually shows the cable.
This is where it gets kind of scary now, right? So you'll notice here's a GPU with sound, and look at you guys see the vibration. Can you guys see that move?
Yes. the GPU vibrating because it's running.
Right? The thing is hopping around because it's running. And it's connected into the aircraft in the correct slot. How cool is that, lads? Like, how cool is that? Right? So, let's have a look here now. So, yeah, the fuel truck is going to do a thing. We'll have a look back at him in a moment, because he's about to get kind of, you know what I'm saying, busy. So, as we're waiting, at this stage, we can probably remove the pitot covers and the propeller covers, right? Security cones, leave them in. You can hear the sounds of the fuel truck. It's telling you what he's doing. That's all good. Back up to the overhead, we have a couple of options here. We can get some lights turned on here, brighten up the panels, for example. And these are a press and hold button, just like the real aircraft. And there's beautiful glare shield lights here. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but the lighting on this airplane is stunning. And you have this beautiful backlight, kind of like a neon colour going around the main instruments. It's absolutely class. So let's give the fuel truck a moment. He will do his stuff. Looking down here now, this is where it gets interesting. So it's a little bit different than what you'd find in something like a TBM, right? So you don't have low or high idle. Your fuel condition condition is either on cutoff or running, right? And there's no FADEC on this aircraft, so you got to be careful when you increase the power. Keep an eye on that RPM. You don't want to overkill it because she'll overrun on you, yeah? So I think the fuel truck is now going to be connecting up to the wings, and he's going to start refueling the aircraft based on what I have requested. Like, it's mad.
That's right.
Do we have to pay for the fuel?
Yeah. This fuel truck is basically will discover all the taxi paths on any airport you are and calculate the correct way to arrive to you. And it will go and arrive and park on the correct position in a way that is be able to connect the fuel hoses. So it's all called a custom, and the reason is because one of the things that I wanted to build is correct ground operations for general aviation aircraft. Is something that we're lacking. There you go. That's connected now on the right position on the left wing to start fueling. Like,
how cool is that?
So to be able to do that, I have to do a lot of maths. I needed to make the fuel truck to be an accuracy of 10 centimeters of the position where the aircraft is on the right spot. I lost a lot of hair on that, but it's done. So that wing is done. So it's gonna do now the other wing. And this is kind of it did already. We didn't notice because you were full of fuel.
Yeah.
So it does one wing at a time, and the time it takes to fuel will be the realistic time that it will take for a fuel pump on these trucks, which is around 42 pounds per minute. Right, so depending on how much fuel you put it on is how long it will take. You can see the truck is now going, and obviously now we will have the passengers VIP coming on their own 4x4 Land Rover.
Right, this is absolutely insane. And not only that, but you can hear him. Right, so it says here, fuel status completed, passengers are on their way. Anyone who's used that Challenger inside of X-Plane, you know we were missing the whole FBO experience. You're getting it in this aircraft. You just are. The vehicle is on its way. Look at the modelling on it. Right, look at the state of it. Beautiful. Raul, will you put Nels Gold in? I know I've asked you about 20 times, but come on, complete the whole VIP experience. Do you know what I mean? Man alive, it's beautiful. And there's sounds, and it's not just a Range Rover. Do you want to let them know other bits and bobs, or do you want to leave it for a while?
Let's show them when it parks. There is something funny that's going to happen when it parks. I want people to hear that. And then when start unloading the luggage, so people can see that too. Now there is no driver at the moment because there is something people need to understand. I mean, this will be your equivalent of GSX for general aviation, right? You don't build GSX in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. It's
sure.
Just, you have to be realistic. So the plan with this is that we're going to make it better with each version. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be added on to the ground operations. But the ground operation is modular. All the aircraft on FSReborn fleet will share the vehicles and will get all the advantages of what you're seeing today. Fuel operations, the vehicles coming, etc., etc. One of the questions that a lot of people say is, what are the passengers? Well, that's coming too. Later on, we will put the animation of the passengers so they come to the aircraft, right? And then here it comes. On Sunday, Microsoft shows me that on the next generation Microsoft Flight Simulator, I can hop now to VIP services, and passengers are coming. So I am super excited about that because it means that I'm going to be able to make all this technology even better, right? Can you imagine the stuff that I'm going to be able to do more when I have all of that? So that is one of the things. So obviously now what's happening is simulating that the passengers are taking selfies. So you can see down the status of the table. It tells you, the passengers is busy now taking selfies, or stuff like that. And then okay, now they're boarding and the cargo is completed. So it shows you sometimes luggage coming out. It depends on the number of cargo. You didn't put any luggage, so that's why they're not showing any. If we put luggage, it will calculate the amount of luggage and it will give a different type of luggage. There are around 30 different type of luggage and textures, giving a total of 65 type of luggages that will be displayed at random.
What?
And they go from different type of luggages to golf carts. You have your golf club sometimes showing up. You have cargo, etc., etc. And that was done because the idea is that by version 2 or 3, we're gonna hook up the tablet to a Sky Park. Okay, and based on what information Sky Park API that Kevin is building exclusively for me, I will know how many passengers and what you need to transport, and then the luggage is going to start showing up. So that's kind of the level of how ground operations is going to continue growing. Another question I get often is why the cars are not drivable. Well, because I can't on the SDK, but I asked today to Asobo to let me do it. So potentially we could have all the cars that you can drive yourself into the aircraft, and that's it. There are right now on version 1 20 cars combined between deliveries, colors, and things that you can have. Yes, the tablet rotates. You can use the tablet to rotate and make any type you want. So there are Ferraris, there are Lamborghinis, anything that you feel like having. There you go. That's a Ferrari there, and that's the level of detail you will have.
With sounds. And
yes.
If you guys didn't hear it, like when the car pulls up, you'll hear it honk the horn and the same when it's going as well. I don't think that came through on the stream, but
right.
It's absolutely brilliant. It's not red. Hang on, we get a red one. So it's hard to tough crowd, isn't it?
You see now why are they all the colors, right?
The red one isn't working. It's back. Sure. Oh, hang on. There's another one here though. Hang on. Wait. There's a limousine. I didn't know you had a limousine.
Yes, there is a limousine as well.
Ah, sure. Look at the state. Yeah, there's something there. I don't know if it's because I have the loading done.
You are clicking too fast, so that's why.
Okay, stop preview, and then preview. Give it a moment. Yeah, no, I think it's something to do with the loading route, let's say.
All right. Okay, so yes, this is the idea of this button is to let it see them. There you go. So you can see them and choose the one that you like.
So you have a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a limousine, a Chevrolet SUV, and a Range Rover, or you can go automatic, and you can do all sorts of stuff. In here, just to show you on the settings page, units of measure, weight, distance, tire pressures, action cameras. What are these action cameras? I mean, tell us about these.
Action cameras is a concept that allows you to be able to see the animations without having to use the replay, So for example, that's the camera exit. So close it, leave it on, and now go and close the door from the tablet. Yeah. Close it. Now it shows you so you don't miss the animation.
So it's an automatic action camera. You can say, hey.
Yes, and then it comes back.
That's great for content creators and pilots alike, because when you take off and you want to see the gear coming up, you know what I mean?
And I built all the most important ones. So you have flaps, you have the engine, which is quite cool. We could do that one so they can see the engine starting up. That's a very cool one to see, actually.
I'll turn that one on, right?
Yeah. And then you can start the engine. And then what will happen is it will take you outside of the aircraft so you can hear the spooling of the turbine. And when it's time for you to action the condition lever, it will bring you back inside of the aircraft.
Oh,
so
nice.
you pull the condition lever. and then it goes outside again, and then it allows you to enjoy how the propeller is spinning up, right? All this is embedded there, so you can actually enjoy stuff. This is the maintenance module, which have all these parts, and we're adding 9 new components after I return from Expo. And the components will be the starter, so you can have a failure on your starter. It will be the hydraulic pump, because I already simulated hydraulic pump failures, and you will need to use your emergency landing gear instead. It's important to say that even when we're not going to show everything, there are 19 circuit breakers on the aircraft. And they're all coded. They all do something. Right?
Everything works.
Everything.
Jeez. This is brilliant. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start it up, right? Because I want folks to hear the sound of this. So what I'm going to do, just double check that all my stuff is closed, which it is. We have our yoke down here. So let me see, up over to the top. Our nav lights are on. They're going to do us. The battery is turned on. We're going to get our fuel pumps turned to auto. And sounds happen straight away. It's amazing. Avionics and gens leave off at the moment. We have a pusher start, so we're going to click and open the flap on that. Just have a quick look down just to make sure everything is where it needs to be. Yes, it is. So throttle open. Mixture's currently in the cutoff position. Park and brake is set. So what we're going to do, when we hit the power button, because we've told the EFB action camera, hey, I want you to go to the outside view looking at that engine. You can turn that on or off, and that's the cool thing. So here we go for the sounds. And then fuel in.
Behind the aircraft, you can hear the wind hitting at you because the propeller is now going at 2,000 RPM.
A full 3D sound experience. Yes. Incredible. Correct. Incredible. Right, okay, so a couple of things here I want to do now. So starter's already go up. We're going to get the generators turned on, get our avionics turned on, and what else?
Now,
we're going to get our...
Let's show now people what I've been doing the last 2 weeks. So obviously, as you know, we have been on AAU2 beta for a while, and I was waiting for plugins and stuff. So we're going to focus now on the MFD of what we have. And there you go, real aircraft avionics with double columns. All right. So this is what I've been doing lately. It was in a rush to finish off before you did the stream. So we did the double column adjustment on the G1000. There is an adjustment I'm going to be doing on the PFD, because when the unit MFD is off, the way that the PFD shows is different. You will have the flap controls and all the sort of things in there that by default the G1000 doesn't have, but I'm building that as we speak. So it will be excellent like the real aircraft. If you hit the flap button right now to 10 degrees, people will see how that animates nicely in there. It follows the angle, so you're getting the full report of where your flap is at.
Beautiful. And even the landing gear indicator, which is part of the real aircraft, that was its own little panel, and you've thrown it in exactly where it's supposed to be. I mean, we can see even the pressurization system is displayed inside this, along with the electrical panel as well. I mean, this is, if anyone watches a real video of the M500, this is a one-to-one replica of what you will see, bar, I think, some of the weather maps, as in there's like, you know, the winds aloft signs or whatever. But that's coming, we know that. It's absolutely incredible.
So there you go. A lot of people were questioning on the forum, are you going to do it? Well, you know, let me work on it. There you go. Here it is.
But what's blowing me away with this one is, Raul, it's how responsive this screen is. How because like a lot of it's, I don't know, it's like a frame rate issue. It's so responsive. It's instant how everything shows up here on the screen.
I take a lot of effort on making something really user friendly for frame per second, because obviously, as you know, I like to offer this kind of level of details to people on Xbox, right? You remember when we released S4, I said, if this parachute works, it's gonna work on Xbox, and it did, right? People can go on Xbox and have absolutely full experience on Xbox of maintenance module, everything. What you guys have seen today, cars, fuel operations, all that is building a technology that means that it will work on Xbox exactly as you saw it today on Morpheus Stream. No change. It would just show. The caveat I have is this. The vehicles that you saw today is going to be, I want it to be driven by the community, right? Because one of the things is going to happen tomorrow. Can you add a Skoda? Can you add this? Can you add a McLaren? Can you add this? I don't want to go and say people, no, I can't because I'm too busy doing airplane A, B, C. So what will occur is by the time we reach the release date, I'm going to provide instructions on how you can add your own 3D model. So you find a car you like and you want to have a McLaren B, whatever, with this amount of engine, you follow the instructions and it will show on the tablet and it will drive and bring it to you. Okay. But because, and that has two objectives. Number one, it means that I release all these cars as a freeware mode that you can download the package. Boom, here it is, the package once we have it. And that means that I don't have to worry about any licensing issues. I just leave the logos as they are and everything looks as it is. I don't have to go and ask Ferrari for permission, McLaren for permission, Land Rover for permission. That doesn't matter because it's free, right?
So we're getting a Skoda.
Well, we will guide your Skoda. So what will occur is this is a free module, and we will be unable to put free content on Marketplace for a while. So it means that for the Xbox people, we're going to pack a minimum number of cars so people can enjoy them. But they cannot have the whole lot until we can do a freeware package. Guys, I mean, this has a massive amount of 3D model, right? So I don't want to force it on everybody immediately because it's a lot of space. It's around 10 gig when you install this thing, but it's because you have a lot of stuff, right? There is something I think that people should see today. Yes, you can pull the blinds and they will be remembered on flight state. So if you leave them down, they stay down next time. You can make a night or twin light so they can see the LEDs that you have on. Yeah, there you go. Yes. So can you show them the LED? No, turn all the lights off.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's no other lighting, the internal lighting. So if you drop down your height a little bit, you will see the LEDs that exist under the frame.
Under the frame?
Yeah, you see the orange.
Do I see?
There is an orange LED.
Sorry. Yeah.
There you go.
Look at that. Beautiful. And like reflective as well. Stunning.
Yes, and they provide proper lighting. So if you're wearing a dark place, you will see the whole cabin orange because obviously you are in that kind of stage, right?
And then each of these floodlights work as well, which is freaking nuts.
Yes, each of them work, and then obviously you have the lighting in there for it. So obviously that's the level of detail of the whole lot.
And then if you want to look at the just while we're looking at the night lighting, we have these panels up here, so we can brighten things or dim things, even with the avionics. Remember I told you I couldn't get the avionics working, I fixed it.
Okay.
So that's all working now. Like if you want to bring your screens down, just press and hold, it brings everything down. Like it's incredible, lads. It really, really is. And like even look at the roof here. Like I mean, look at the reflections off these lights, just bouncing off the top panel of the aircraft. Yeah.
So obviously the project is incredibly mature. But we're extending the maintenance module to have 8 more components that can go wrong. That go from electrics all the way to mechanical situations. The EFB is going to have some changes. We are going to add a page that is going to tell you, it's called flight operations. So the objective of that page on the EFB will be to allow you to see the cabin temperature because you have a climate control that will be full simulated, and it will allow you to see how comfortable the passengers are, and it will allow you to serve snacks and things to the passengers, so you will see that on the table at the back, and then it helps to make the passengers much more comfortable also.
Absolutely incredible. So just to show off some of the lighting, now, there is kind of spill lights here in the area because, well, I'm at an airport with lights. Just to give you an idea, like the landing lights, the taxi lights, it's just stunning. Like you can see those strobe lights are so powerful. The nav lights are beautiful, and you even have the ice light coming there back onto the wing. Like it's stunning, lads. You can see, like there it is. Look, the lighting on this aircraft is stunning, really, really is. And all of this, by the way, shout out to Edson who's here. It's all thanks to Flo. Look how we can change things so seamlessly. It's beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. Right, Raul, what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to try and take off now and hopefully not explode. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to let folks showcase, or I'm going to try and showcase the sounds, right, and when we take off. And there are so many more features to this aircraft. It's quite incredible. And just to remind folks, this is the first of 3 overviews we're going to be doing with this aircraft. We'll be checking back in with Raul in a couple of weeks as you bring more updates to this machine. But you know, I certainly hope this has been a good indication to, holy moly, look how good this thing is looking. And you know, it's when the time comes for release, you guys are going to have an idea. Have you anything in terms of timelines yet, Raul? Do you think roughly when folks might see this?
The difficulty I have is the FS Expo is on the way, and there are other projects as well that I'm doing with Barrel 42, which I need to finish before we set up all for travel to the expo. And I need to stay for a week with my family in Houston because my dad's health is not very well. Oh. So I will need to come back and then continue at that point. I'm back in July. So we will see. The objective is to complete the beta team before I go. So they keep hitting it. I land back, and then we can obviously clear all the bugs that they have found, and then just start aiming towards the release date. I don't like giving the release date because you never know what can happen, right? Sure. I don't want to disappoint people saying it's going to be by this date, and then it doesn't happen, and they are like sad. You know, it's not fair for them or for me. So I just want them to get a reassurance today. Look, we're working hard on this and putting as much detail as I can fit in. There are still things I want to do, and I'm going to need to do it on V2 because I don't have time. For example, next to the PFD is supposed to have an Aspen unit, which is the backup display, right?
Just here,
the difficulty I have is that by the time we receive the documentation from Working Title for the framework, it was February this year, so I don't have time to build it. So that's going to be built and then incorporated for free, obviously, for everybody on V2. And many things I'm going to continue to be doing.
It's insane. It really, really is.
Can you show them? There was a question today earlier if we have real beta. Can you show when you're taxiing that you can put the aircraft actually on beta, and then it will start slowing down? So it will tell you on the PFD that it's on beta. What's happening here is now you are changing the blade angles, and slowly, it's progressive. You're not going to full reverse. You're telling the aircraft, I want you to be a little bit on beta. And the more that you move it forward, it will go on full reverse, okay? But you are on beta mode. And on beta mode, then you control the taxi speed. And this is how you're supposed to do it in real life, because the problem with M500 is the engine is so powerful for the frame that Piper have to derate it. Normally, this PC6 is 800 horsepower, and they derate it to 500 and increase the RPMs of the propeller to 2000 to give the full performance to the pilot without any fatigue, right? So what happened is you remove the parking brake and the thing goes, and every single pilot I've been speaking of, they say, yes, that's how it works in real life. And then you will consume the brakes in probably 2-3 flights if you're not careful. So you have to actually taxi on beta, and that's simulated as well as per real aircraft.
That's absolutely incredible. And the sounds again, lads, just have a listen.
Yeah, it changes sound depending on the angle of the plane. Now you're in full reverse, and it will just go full reverse.
It's beautiful, and you hear it better as I build.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Right. Okay. So, is there anything else to focus on, or we'll just kind of take it off and then we'll move on?
Give it a spin, and then we will do a surprise to show a feature to everybody else after you're ready to do so.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so quick check here. Lights are on. Fuel pumps auto, ignition auto is grand. That's all okay here. Flaps are already set. And the sounds, lads, have a listen. Alrighty. So slowly advance the throttle because, well, there's no fading, so you got to be careful, yeah?
Yeah, you accelerate to 1,200. 1,200 per the torque.
Airspeed live. Takeoff power set. We're looking for a rotate speed of about 85.
All starts are going to be coded when I come back, so yes, the idea is that you do something wrong in the circumstances where we calculate that you will have too much fuel to inject at the point that you fill the condition up. It will simulate a hot start. My plan was to make it even with fire and put the fire truck coming to help you. Obviously the fire truck then will come V2. Yes, it is all CFD enabled already. The flight model has that all automatically done already on the turboprop.
And that's it. We have it in flight level change mode. Speed set to 125. Yaw dampener is now on. Flaps are in. It's very beautiful, isn't it? And the sounds, lads. Beautiful. Now, this feature you want to show off, is it airborne or on the ground?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, well, let's go for it.
All right. So what I need you to do is this. I want you to enable depth mode. Do you know how to do that?
Yes.
Okay, let's enable depth mode.
If this breaks anything, I'm going to send you a letter.
It's all right. You will see me. You will see me in Expo.
Yes.
All right. Now I want you to open the behavior tool. So you go to tools.
Yeah.
And it says behaviors. All right. Open, expand the window a little bit because it's very crowded there. We're going to be, okay. So I want you to go into local variables. On the top, there is a tab that says local variables.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you uncheck the tick box?
Okay.
All right. Now, type on the filter.
Yes.
On the filter on the top, type bird.
Oh, look, it says board. What'll I do here? Do I just click it and hit enter?
Okay, wait. Now go over there and where it says value.
Yeah.
Okay, can you reduce the window a little bit because it's going to be on the way of the effect. All right. Put 1.
As in 1.0?
1, yeah.
Yeah.
And hit enter.
Ah, oh, Jesus, you're after breaking me plane. We got hit by a bird. Oh, no. You destroyed me beautiful plane.
Yes. So this is something else that we're going to be simulating, which is beer strikes, and it's going to be based on 2 things. Number 1, that the destination or origin airport has a note saying that there are birds on the vicinity that will increase the risk of them happening.
Right.
Or number 2, there will be a section on the tablet that we're doing as well, where you can trigger these failures at your own will. So you can say on the tablet, oh, look, I want to simulate a beer strike in 5 minutes or now. And then it will just do it for you. Obviously, you will lose the pressurization at that point. You will lose everything. Can you put your angle of the camera next to the closer and a little bit to the right so people can see that this is actually 3D push down?
Oh, yeah, sure, look.
Yeah, there you go. So you can see that it's bended the entire glass in, right? So obviously now pressurization can start.
The poor bird! He didn't. The last thing he saw before, it all went terribly wrong. Well, we won't mention it, but that's so cool. That's awesome. And like, that's cool. I like that, man. That's pretty awesome.
This is one of the many things. So while the beta tester was testing the random failure system, and you can hear the circuit breakers popping out when something is going wrong, right? So if you go into the release setting, it will be just all over. Now, I think today it's important as the last bit to show the EFB nav graph, because a lot of people have questions about it that they did to me. So you open the tablet for a second, and you click the nav graph. Yeah.
The Navigraph.
Yes.
Okay.
So obviously, can you show the route?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want people to understand that you have a bug now that we fixed already where it doesn't show the plane. This will show you the full plane route, and you can have the nav graph charts. Have you integrated nav graph?
I think it did, but if I didn't, I'll do it in a hang on. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Can you import from SimBrief? Just to do it quickly. Import from SimBrief.
Yeah, hang on out. Hang on out.
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. This has transferred as well the flight plan directly into the G1000 automatically, so people don't need to do anything else. And show you everything, OFP reports, etc., etc. And on the nav graph now, you can see obviously charts. If you go back to charts and open one of the charts of the destination airport, for example. Yeah, so you have full charts integration, as you guys can see. It's all there, night, whatever. And then the routes to show you now the layers of NavGraph. Yeah, so you have layers there. You see the layer button?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's full NavGraph integration.
Deadly.
In there. So you can have everything there. There is something changing now on this. We're going to embed the pin charts of departure and approach, just like the NavGraph app. So we'll have everything there.
That's so cool, man. That is so cool.
You have all that. And this is kind of the technology that has been built on. It took me 3 months to build the entire EFP, for example, right?
That's crazy.
Which is starting in December, and I was still doing changes a couple of weeks ago to it. So we're almost there.
That's nuts. Now, before we let you go, well, we're not letting you go. You're staying. But what we're going to do, because we're going to be jumping over and joining back with Gibbo, and also Jeppesen is here as well. This aircraft, which looks absolutely insane, right? Which it does. It is absolutely insane. Well, there's something else you're kind of working on in the background, isn't there?
Oh, yes. I forgot about that.
So prepare yourselves to be wowed, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the state of this thing. This is the Embraer Phenom 300E, also in development by FSReborn. Just take all our money, will you? Like, it's just to take it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And like, I've seen some of the animations you were working on, but I haven't seen the pictures, right? So if you hear a lot of this, the drool, right? It's like, holy crap. And I wouldn't mind, Raul. I only flew the Aerobas one on this on X-Plane the other day, and I was like, oh, we got to get one of these in Microsoft Flight Sim. I'm like, hello? Yeah. Right? Beautiful.
Yes. And now you can imagine the tech I've been building, right? All that tech, EFB, full SimBrief integration, full everything integration is going to be on this baby. And all those cars are going to be on this baby. Obviously, I need to change the limo, because for this one, we need a bigger limo. But
no, Skoda, just a Skoda.
Oh, a Skoda too, whatever you fancy. That's the whole thing, right?
Whatever you do, don't put in a Tesla. Yeah. Give it like Teslas.
There is a question about the 727. I don't know if people know, but SimWorld Studio, developer of the Kodiak and FSReborn, we signed a partnership, and we're doing a 727-200 Advanced together. We are just starting the 3D, guys. We're not at stage to show anything right now, right? There is a lot of projects that Alex wants to finish. There is more pictures here that are available about the Phenom.
Look at the state of this, lads. So apart from that amazing M500, the Piper M500, which is general aviation, you're now bringing out one of the quintessential business jets, and you're also working on a classic tube liner as well. Like, man alive, it's bananas. Hang on, where's my pictures going? Jeez, you wouldn't know what's in my downloads folder. Hang on, I'll find another picture here quick. Where's it here? Oh, this. Yeah, here we go. Wait, look at the detail on this already. Now, obviously, this project is a little bit further down the track, right? I mean, you're still working on it. It's early work, but isn't it beautiful? there's another couple of pictures here. I wanted to show off the interior. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that cockpit. Look at the state of that. Stunning.
Yes. So obviously now it makes sense to bring this as a next project, because the G3000 has been polished by working title, and now I can just crack on, right? It didn't make sense to do it before.
But not only that, it's not even a question of making the aircraft look good. You're going into very deep simulations here, because you want to simulate what it is to do business travel, right?
Correct. So what will occur is, as you can see in the video, is that we're doing every part of the aircraft as a real one, including the cabinets and the components inside. And one of the ideas will be built on top of the technology coming from 500, is that you will be able to go here and click about and prepare food and the beverage and things for your passengers yourself as an interactive thing. So you will go there and take a glass and say, serve here, and it will go and put it on the table of passenger 1, 2, or 3, depending on which one, has requested the service. This is an example. This in here, we can see all the elements from the rubbish bin container, so you can put something inside because you're done with it. And then you can see as well, you will see all the parts that have been modeled. We're modeling everything, where the plates is going to be, where the curtain is going to be, glasses and beverage, and all sort of things.
In-flight entertainment, right?
Oh yes, actually there is, because on the Phenom 300E, on the right side of each passenger, there is a little, I think it's 10 or 7-inch tablet.
Yeah.
So that's going to be simulated, obviously, where you can go there and you tablet and do things. This is how the level of detail of the chairs, for example, that we're doing. So what's happening here is you can see the progress as things get better on the SDK. I can push harder, right? Mm-hmm. This is basically what you're saying. So this is user 3D. Obviously, this is going to have full maintenance and failures as well. You can predict that. I will call every single circuit breaker you can have on this aircraft. There is the fuel panel on this aircraft is perfect, because it has a LED actually on the real aircraft. So the idea is that the LED will be modeled properly, so you can see the fuel quantity, and then you can order how much fuel you want in and out via the ground operations that you see today. Mm-hmm. So you will see the hose connected onto the fuel panel of the Phenom, and you request, I want this amount of fuel, and you will see it happening, right? Increasing and decreasing.
And this is all coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I mean, this is just like,
yes.
What?
And before people ask, yes, it will come to any Microsoft Flight Simulator version that we might have. If Microsoft tomorrow calls me and say, oh, Raul, I think we're going to do Microsoft Flight Simulator version 2040. I don't care. I will do it for 2040. This is a dream, guys. Please understand. I'm not here for the money. I want your support, obviously, so I can build more, right? But we're here to make something amazing. And this is what it is. There is no need to be afraid of anything. If Microsoft says tomorrow, we're doing it in 2030, doesn't matter. We will make it for 2030. If it says tomorrow, Raul, we're going to, instead of calling Microsoft Flight Simulator, we're going to call it Use Flight Simulator. Doesn't matter either, right? We will go and find out what we need to do, and it just gets done.
Dude, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. And on that bombshell.
Wait. Before you go, there's something that I think is important people to see, because we missed it. Oh. When you click import from SimBref, right?
Yes.
What happened is the flight plan is on the G1000.
Ah, sorry.
I want people to see that. Can you click flight plan?
There it is. So it instantly loads in.
So what will happen is you go to your SimBref account, you prepare your flight plan entirely, you go to the EFB, you say import, you have it all there, done, ready. And that's it, you're ready to go.
But wait, there's more. The last thing, what's this blue button? Because this is a feature of the real aircraft.
Okay, so obviously we could demonstrate this on the next stream, but this aircraft comes with a feature called electronic system protection. So this electronic system protection, what it does is it prevents the pilot from installing the aircraft and underperform it or overperform it, right? And all that has been simulated, obviously. And the level button is that is a feature where if you are in trouble like you could be on AMC conditions, right? And you feel like you're going wrong. You click that button and it should, there you go. That's the ESP taking in because you went over the threshold. So you press that level button, and if the autopilot is not on, it will turn it on and it will level your aircraft wings. Right?
Like this is a real world safety feature
Yes.
Piper have developed for the M500. And when I first flew this airplane, I tried to break things, right? It wouldn't let me break things. So I was like, no, I'll just put it into can she barrel roll? And then the aircraft ESP took over. I was like, no, you're not doing that, Murph. What? Right? Now, you can bypass it, I think, by pulling the circuit breaker, right?
You can, I haven't done it by the circuit breaker, I think, but I did it as a setting on Realism on another version. I don't think you have that one because I did it recently.
Okay.
Where you can go on the EFV and you say on Realism, no, I don't want ESP enabled because you might not want it, right? I don't want to force people things. As I was explaining earlier on your server, I think yesterday, I feel there is a need to leave room for people to do what they want, right? Not everyone wants to have engine failures. Not everyone wants to have the landing gear not working, etc., etc. Some people want to have all that. Some people don't want that. So on this product and all for the products, that's something that I always kept in mind. So you can go into Realism and disable all the failures. You can go into Realism and disable electronic system protection. And then you can just go and fly and do barrel rolls up, down, fly upside down, because that's what rocks your boat. I'm not going to prevent you from doing that. But if you want to experience something closer to real world, then you go and you enable all the Realism features, and you better be careful with your brakes, because if they run over, you can't brake. And you better be careful with your torque, because if you keep it over the limit, it will damage the engine, right? But it is optional. That's the whole point. You have the capability to do it if you want, or if you don't want, then you don't. You just have fun. Because it might be that one day you want to fly with all that enabled, or one day you just want to fly with your friends, and you don't want to be worried about any of that, right? So you can go and turn it off.
And be on the lookout for birds.
Yes.
Dude, it's a masterpiece, and I can't wait to learn more about it.
Did you show them the pillows fall off the chairs?
Oh wait, no, I didn't. So you know the way I did something mad and dangerous and high angled? See the pillows moving. Now, will these move in real time if I throw in a mad turn?
Yes, do a mad turn now to the other way.
Hang on. We'll fix this. Oh look, there they go! Right, that's how you lose your lunch. That's nuts, isn't it?
And something that I haven't done yet, because I have to do it, if you open the doors would just flow away. I haven't done that yet.
Oh, no way.
It's not done yet, but it will be good.
That's brilliant, man. I love it. We'll have to simulate some sounds in there as well, like the pilot. If you do something like that, jeez, right, something rough, you know. But dude, it's a cracker.
I don't want to say dates of the release, but it's coming out very close to it. And the price, I wanted to keep the price as low as the thing is for, to be frank. But the cost that took me to record the thing in real life, for me to put the price higher, because otherwise, you know, I mean, I have to hire the bloody plane guy.
You had to hire
to record it. Yeah,
you had to hire the actual airplane to get an accurate sound recording of it.
So it's gonna go on the market for $32.99.
€32, dollars, pounds,
dollars.
$32.
Yes.
You must be mad, right? Madness, absolute madness price. But that's really, really good, man. That's like $32 is like $30. Incredible, man. Absolutely incredible. It's so great to see, and I'm looking forward to seeing more and more of this. And what a great showcase that we had in store today. It's been awesome.